Saturday morning build. Got the press set up, so we're going to go ahead and get another version of this bullet feeder up and on there. Made a couple of small changes against the one that you probably saw already. Namely, the electronics box is no longer built into it, and that was mostly just kind of a weight savings and I guess a functionality thing. The first one I did, I built a stand that had the electronics box that also held the main body. And that was good for bench testing. And at the time, I didn't actually have a press, so I couldn't hang it or install it or do anything like that. So we changed up the mounting bracket a little bit. It's actually got a little bit of an angle now, so it fits the case feeder just like a dream. And yeah, we changed the electronics box. It's actually the same box, just took the supports off. We did go ahead and changed what I call the base to slinky. I think that's what the file's called. I don't know. Anyways, just threaded the end of it to try and get the output spring to thread on rather than using the Home Depot hose. So I guess that's a good transition. There are two things that you need. I guess there's one thing that you need that you can't print. And that is the powder funnel for the bullet feeder. And this actually goes in station number 2 in your powder measure, and it just flares the case a little bit extra so that the bullet can just kind of fall and sit in it without toppling over and without shaving brass or lead or any of that good stuff off every time. So as far as I know, you need one of these. I ordered one separately. I'm not going to try and circumvent it. I know it's $40, but it is what it is. And the second thing that I'm trying, which you don't need to do, is I did the extension output spring. It's not super long, so I don't know if it's gonna get us there. I might have to end up going back and resorting to using some of that clear tube, which I guess when you're trying to do something kind of open source like this, maybe I should have stuck with that, but I didn't. But yeah, the other thing that has just given me a ton of grief is this guy, the cutoff switch adapter. Oops. I wanted it to I liked how it had that, just a more refined look. It just kind of looked nice. But I couldn't get it to print right. I did so much support and a giant raft, and for whatever reason, there was always a little bit of movement, and the threads came out really wonky, and there was, we got real bad finish here on the inside of this bold area. I tried printing it, you know, sitting upwards, kind of. I know it's like a bad representation, like sitting like that. I tried flipping it over so that this was the side that was getting support, and then you'd break these tabs off and the threads never came out clean. So I actually ended up changing it to a much less pleasing version, but it prints way better. Come on, get out of here. There we go. So same idea, and also extended it to use some of these bigger springs. But yeah, it came out way better. It actually looks pretty good on both sides. So again, hopefully that'll work. The threads are to hold the spring, and then the other side has just a press fit adapter that'll go onto the die that we'll talk about when we get there. But yeah, so I guess let's take a look at what we've got for. Oops. Look at what we got for parts. So obviously, main piece right here. Again, this isn't my design. Well, obviously it's a Mr. Bullet Feeder, and then I believe AmmoMike, or I don't remember who. It was way before my time. Not before my time. Before I got it. Anyways, they're the ones that came up with this, and then I've just kind of done my revisions and modifications to make it work for what I want and how I want. So I joined the base and the wall into one piece, and I I originally had printed them as the two separate pieces, and then I did the heat inserts and I screwed it to it, and it just, I don't know, it just never felt right, it never looked right, it didn't seem, so I just made it one piece, and now it's perfect. And yeah, I guess if I break this, then I have to reprint the whole thing, but that's not a concern of mine. So, the collator plate, we've made quite a few changes to this, mostly that there's these little bullet-shaped angled piece just to help kind of get them to fall in there right, and then these paddles, just when you get down to the last couple bullets in there, sometimes they just kind of like ride along the edge, and that was just to kind of help turn them up and get them to fall in there. Once you get down to like, I feel like it's single digit bullets in there, sometimes they just kind of spin around, you're never actually going to get them, but that's okay. So then we've got a couple of the nose pieces, so that, you know, that guy goes in there, that guy on top of it, and these can be moved around and adjusted just to get that bullet just to catch on it just perfect. We've got the feed ramp, which will go there, and that's actually what's going to pick the bullet up and turn it into the right direction. And then on the bottom side, we've got our extension that will go to our slinky that we got. So I think this is like a brake line protector. I kind of did a little search like that, and I think it was like 30 or 40 bucks. I think AutoZone had something, and I probably should have explored that more, but I got lazy and just clicked buy on the internet. But yeah, hopefully we'll get that to thread onto there and hold. Knock everything over. The bait, or the mount. So yeah, this is, I think if we run into a problem today, it's going to be with this, and I think it's just going to be on a, it doesn't take much to get some flex. This will be up against the case feeder, so that'll actually be supported, but there's still some flex here, and this gets pretty heavy pretty quick. But yeah, it'll mount up just like that. We'll put some heat inserts, put some bolts in there. And that was another thing I did want to change. I feel like on most of the actual bullet feeders, you know, when you're using the press, this is sitting away from you, and I think that's so that the slinky tube, whatever you want to call it, is coming out the front right towards the press. And I'm gonna try and turn it around just so it's easier to fill and easier to get in there and get those last couple bullets going, so I guess it would be like this. But anywho, here's the case. Doesn't come with dog hair. Here's the case for the electronics. This lid it fits, but it's like once you put it on, it doesn't come back off. So, but yep, got a spot for the switch, the dial, and the readout, and then there's just a little spot in the back for the motor and power supply wires. And it doesn't, I don't have like a solution for where this goes, or I think it's just going to sit on the workbench for now. And yeah. So like you said, I went through just a ton of different iterations with this, and I don't think I've got that set to autofocus, so it might not pick this up, but every single one was hot garbage express. So got rid of the rounded version and went to the square version, which just prints substantially better. I did play around with one of these switches off screen and kind of just tried to start playing around with different curves. I have shorter ones, like the normal limit switches or whatever you want to call them, and it has just been incredibly finicky to get the right amount of leverage where the bullet coming down can depress the lever until it clicks, but there's also not too much force that the bullet will just sometimes hit the switch and then stop there. So I think we're pretty close here. With this one, so I guess I'll go back, grab a bullet, and so, you know, the switch is held in place right there, and as the bullet comes down this thing, it barely even clips it. So Come on, get in there. All right. So kind of did this where the bullet comes down and then you can hear it right there, it clicks. And right when it clicks, it still has to depress it a tiny bit more, just kind of as a little bit of a fail-safe so that we're not right on that limit. But just in what I was playing around with it, I think that's actually going to be a pretty good... I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful. It is, so you can kind of just see, I just bent it out and then kind of curved it back. And when you set it in there, it actually, you have to kind of, I don't think preload's the right word, but depress it until it gets in the channel. So it never fully extends once it's in its right position, but it has a good click right about there, and then the bullet pushes it just a little bit further just to be safe, but it doesn't bind up. So, and then I haven't come up with anything cool mounting wise other than using these channels and a couple of little zip ties just to keep it closed. But threads on one side for the channel, and then where'd it go? Where? That's where. And then there's this little guy, and it does have one side is kind of barbed. Not focusing. Yeah, maybe you can see it there. And that's just a good press fit right there. Barbed side facing out, which, drum roll, will go into the bullet feeder die. So the inner piece of the die, that's just a good press fit. So the barbed side goes in here so that in practice, this will sit on top of it like that. Super fancy. I'll post up a link to this. This is by, crap, I should have looked. This is straight off Thingiverse. Didn't change a thing to it. So whoever did this, good job. And yeah, so we've got, you need a ball bearing and a couple of springs for this, which we'll do. There's the flange for the motor. So this is a 12 volt, and it's obviously not a 90-degree motor like I think the actual bullet feeder one is. So this will just stick straight off the back, but we'll tap the threads, or we'll tap this 4 threads. Then we've got our motor controller, which goes in the box, and again, it's got your variable speed, forward, reverse, and then just output to tell you what your speed is in case you have different speeds for different bullets, or I don't know. And then last night I realized I don't have a power supply, so I found this in my junk drawer. It's a 12 volt, 1.8 amp. Should be plenty. We'll hack that apart. Actually, I might have a 5.5 connector that we could use and actually make that plug and play. Maybe we'll do that. That sounds like a good idea. Glad we talked through that. But yeah, that's the goal. So hopefully we'll get some heat inserts put in real quick. We will bust out the tap and die, and hopefully it won't take too long, and we'll get it up and start running some bullets through it. 3 holes here, and it really doesn't take much. These bolts don't have a lot of shear to them, it's holding this while it's spinning. If you really wanted, you could probably drill them out and put an M4 in there, but so far I've had pretty good results on the other model with just doing these M3s. Again, when you go to actually put the hardware in, you're not going to want to crank down on it or anything. It's not... but we're getting some shavings out of there, and they'll thread in just fine. Just make sure you're going in as straight as possible. There we go. Should probably get some channel locks. And last one. Get it out, come on. Oh, no. Nice. All right, so that is good. Get that out of the way. Go ahead and get our heat insert iron going over here. I think you're going to need 8 or 9, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah, at least 9 of these M3 heat inserts. And you'll need an assortment of M3 hardware. Why do those look so much bigger all of a sudden? Nope, that's right. Yeah, okay, so I think those are the two I didn't change. I need to actually enlarge these two holes a little bit. Because there's like, these are I'll have to post a link. Um, these are like the real heat inserts. There's like the ones you get off Amazon, which are actually like the molded in ones that you're supposed to, for like injection molded plastics or other projects. And that's at least what I picked up just from the Voron guys. So I started using these on everything and using a slightly bigger hole, which I think is 4.7 millimeters. And it fits a lot better with less plastic trying to come back out. All these are just going to be done until they're flush. And then I like to just push it against a hard surface and it'll really go in and just sit nice and flush and square. Rinse and repeat. And then yeah, this is just the heat insert tool. I think I got this one from 3D West, but I'm sure there's plenty of options. And I mean, you can just use a regular soldering iron. You want to set your soldering iron to just a couple degrees less than what you print at. Or at least that's what they say. And be careful, because those will stay hot for a moment. I'm sure you'll find that out on your own, but it is satisfying. For the first like 10, and then you're just over it. I think the first one of these I did, I actually didn't even use heat inserts. I think I just small holes and ran screws into it, and I think while it worked, it wasn't very advisable. So yeah, I need to make those holes a little deeper too, because it's pushing back out. The plastic is kind of erupting around it a little bit, which not a huge problem, but add that to the change request. Yeah, because then you get like molten plastic on the tip of the tool, and then it's all just downhill from there. So yeah, that's. Oops. Ah, bugger. All right, so we got those. I put one on the inside of this mount just to attach it, or just so we could kind of put like a set screw or a set bolt. I don't know if it's gonna want to move, but that way it'll kind of just pinch onto the case feeder. And then so God, I wish that thing could focus. If I set it to autofocus, it'll just sit there and like the whole day. But there's the heat insert has like a step side and then a flat side. The step side goes into the plastic. Yeah, same thing with these ones. Wait. That actually. Ooh, whoops. Alright, that should be enough of those for a moment, I think. Alright, what was... It's been a minute since I actually put this together, and I know I had like an order of operations with the flange and the motor, but I don't remember anymore. There are two small grub screws that go on the flange, one on each side, and then this is a stepped, it's got a milled flat spot, so one of those will go there, and then the other one on the other side. Let's see. I didn't have that ready. And you know, I think we're going to do just a small little drop of thread locker on it. And this is just blue, so I don't have to sacrifice anything to the devil to get it off. And I'm just going to get that started because it needs to go on after we actually install the motor, which in hindsight I probably should probably install the motor and then do this because now our clock's ticking. Tick tock. But there we go. Get those both started. This is too much. Too much, not enough. Alright, so I'm going to go with the, I think the 8s are what I want. And go figure, I don't have any. There we go. So these are the M3 by 8. Let's see if that's going to be... Oh no. Oh no. So it looks like I definitely went back and just reordered the same motor, but ye ol' Amazon, this collar looks like it's been increased in size. Wah, wah, wah. That's okay. We can fix that. We can fix that. Just going to grab our patented bullet feeder fixing tool. Better. Oh. Oh. All right. It's like just give it up the whole thing. There we go. No more worrying about it. Blue plastic everywhere. Oh yeah. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. But okay, hold on. Time out. So 11.75 millimeters. We're just gonna change this right here, right now. Well, I still have it taken apart. I don't have to. Just gonna make this guy. We're gonna go 12 millimeter. We're gonna go 12 and a half. Boom. Problem solved. What was... I think there was also these two holes. We'll just fix it while I'm thinking about it. 4.7. 4.7. 4.7. Go -5. Cut. Actually, let's go just a smidge further with those. There we go. All right. Both problems fixed there. I know this isn't part of the experience, but 4.7, 4.7. Boom, perfect. Everything is now updated. Turn off, off. Go. Save. You get it. And we're back. Okay. Now that that Loctite is good and dry already. Good and dry. Hopefully that's the only update to this thing that they decided to do. Surprise! Different bolt pattern. Oh, oh, oh. It's hard because there's times like that where I'm like, I don't want to source things from Amazon because they change so frequently, or I feel like everything on Amazon now is just garbage from China. Like when it first started, it was normal things, and now it's just everything is like I'm not going to say anything. I don't know. Knockoff names. Change down a well. Two more. Just go through and snug those all down. Doesn't need to be anything crazy. There is no torque spec. Put the impact away. Alright. Perfect. So then we're going to go ahead and put on our flange. Find where your flat spot is. And then before we tighten it down, put the collator plate on, and it's hard to do at an angle, but you want there to be a small gap. You don't want there to be dragging. So just make sure that your flange isn't sitting too high or too low. And for me right here, flush, that being flush is pretty good. So I'm not saying it'll be good for you, but it's good for me. Should be good for you. Depending on what brand of Chinese garbage you get that day. And then you got the two grub screws that you're going to need to tighten down. Tighten down the one that goes on the flat spot of the shaft first. Again, you don't need it's a very, very small screw. Don't go strip it, don't go breaking it off. Make sure you have the right size. And then once that one's tight, then you can do the one on the back side. And again, just snugging them down. No cheater bars. All right, motor and flange look good to go. So then we'll take our plate, go back to the black hardware. Those holes almost seem a little too big now. But that was the M3 by 16. Did I do something different than those other ones? What? I need to change that too. Interesting. I can't blame that one on Amazon. I don't know what happened there. This is a fun part where you just need to, there we go. Okay, what's the deal? Hmm. There we go. Boom. Those holes definitely need to be made smaller in I don't know why those are so big. Nope, nope, nope. That's not what we wanted. So right now those are, what was that right? 5.5. Stand by. Yeah, we're just gonna go. That's, come on. We're gonna go 3.2 on each of those. Don't know why that got. Trying to think what I did on the first one I did. Maybe I just didn't care at that point. I don't know. Doesn't sound right. I mean, kind of sounds right, but doesn't sound right. Anywho, you're right. So now we can do this guy and that guy. Take out my Home Depot washer pack, because I think we did. M3, I don't have any M3 washers, but it's a little quick 1/4 inch, I think. I don't know, it works. You don't need I mean, I should probably get an actual screw for that. We'll snug it up just a little bit. We're gonna have to go back and adjust it so don't get too carried away. Don't go super glue it in place or anything. doesn't focus. Oh, see those ones, man, this is like, it's supposed to be a build video and it's more of a what's not right still video, which I guess that's how they go. That's like tight enough. All right, so those two I'm using M3 by 12s. And we put our little guide plate on like that. At least we don't have to worry about this piece going anywhere because it's snug. We should probably recess those, like countersink those two. We fixed that. That's not really a design. I need to make those bigger, and let's just make them bigger right now. We're not gonna go down the rabbit hole of countersinking them, but we will make it. Trying to tell me those are 3.2? If those are 3.2, we've got a slight issue. Because that's what we did the wheel at. Bonus fusion lesson. All right, or how not to, I guess it's turning into. All right, so that's pretty, it's looking pretty good. I guess let's throw on the mount. It's not too early for that. It's never too early for that. How does it fit? What do we do? What's going on here? Yeah, like that. And I think, M312 is probably just a smidge short. M316s, M316s. And again, those holes are a little big too. Boo. Just a little snug. That'd be another good countersink one. All right, I think I'm gonna stop changing them right now, but I'm gonna start writing some of these down. So holder holes, yeah. Collator hole. Change those from 3.2 to 3.5, and then do some counter sinking. All right, just do that up on the whiteboard real quick, and then we'll start one on the side right here just so it's nice and handy once it's time to... I'm actually just going to run it in and out all the way real quick just to make it a little easier to hopefully just do by hand. Again, I don't want to actually crank it down onto the case feeder, but yeah, perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right, looking good. Looking good. I guess that means it's probably time to wire something up. Throw that all over there. And we're done with that for a moment. So now we need, are we done with these M3/8s? Come here, where'd you go? Where'd you go? Put those away. All right, so I'm actually just going to use an old power cable for my motor. I cut both ends off. Separate those ends. Oh yeah. Fire up our old soldering iron here real quick. Probably don't need that just to tin these, but old habit. And we're good. Plenty of solder on those. Sorry, probably blocking. And then, oh, knocked something off. Something fell. What fell? Oh, lost a screw. I am going to solder these so that they're coming out towards the holder side. Small detail, but details matter. I'm not a fan of soldering onto tabs like this either. I don't. It feels like I always struggle to get it good. But easy enough there. We've got our motor, and it's got motor in and motor out. Strip off these ends. I'm gonna get all up in the camera's way here. think those guys are just big enough. Nice. All right, so the motor is polarity specific, and obviously whatever wire you use is going to be different, but mine has a ridged side. When you separate them, there's a ridged side and a smooth side. Smooth for me is positive. And there goes everything. So smooth for me is positive. Just so I don't give myself problems that I don't need. I'll mark that one. Put on some of the world's worst crimps. I hate these things. Right on the edge if I can see. Okay. Clean that one up. Sides in. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. So that's done. Was it? These have like just enough solder pre-tinned on them that you can never strip them as is. And those guys are pretty small, so I'm actually going to use a different. Get in there, get in there. I'm going to use some of these ferrule clamps for those, or crimps for those. Oops. Oh, that's not going to work. Nope, that was too. Wrong size. There we go. Using one of those spade terminals here would probably be better. But I don't have any small enough for the small of a wire. So we just got the little ferrule clamps. Whatever you want to call them. Ferrule. Ferrule. I don't know. Done with that. That. Okay. Allen wrench down. Put away our 6 different pairs of wire strippers, 4 different crimping tools. Too much crap. All right. How did we do this? So I guess pull the knob off, and then there's a little nut that you can take off. We'll put those back on in a minute. As far as the switch goes, did I take it apart last time? No. I think, because the problem was is that I don't want to cut any of those crimps, and they don't feel like they would come out without just ripping the wires out of them instead. And I could just resolder them. Probably not the end of the world, probably easier than what I'm about to embark down, but let's see if we can't just pop this cover off real quick. Yeah, famous last words. Yeah, I'm just gonna do this real quick. And an hour later, I'll be on Amazon seeing how quick I can get another one. What's holding you on? What compels you? Ah, it slides backwards. Kind of like a blessing in disguise. So this thing, when you get yours, it has like this cling plastic on it that is just a pain in the dick to remove. And there was a couple little pieces stuck in there still, so it's kind of a blessing or whatever. Like, see, here's another piece. Alright, so now we can just pull that out. Crap, which one's which? Nope. Switch goes on the left. Oh, yeah. That goes on from the inside anyways. So, yellow goes towards the number. Ooh, wait, no. Yeah, because the screen has. God, the screen has little dots at the bottom of the numbers. Like if you're going to do 4.3 or whatever. So that's obviously down. So looking at it from the top, yellow is on the right. Yellow is on the right. Wait. Wait. I'm going to take it off on this side, which yellow is still on the right. Make sure to install it with the dots down. Did I push? Ooh, that's snug. Alright, well, it's not like we're going to surprise anyone by having to modify anything, so we're just going to take just a little bit. There was supports in these windows as well, so part of it might just be a little bit of that leftover support material. Just taking a little bit out. It's a lot easier to take it out than it is to add it back. Come on. You too good for your home? I should probably add it to the notes to make maybe just a slight bevel. But I think originally when I was doing this, it was that there's really not an edge or a border. So I wanted it as tight as possible. One, because you need to hold it in place, but two, because there wasn't like a beauty ring or a bezel or anything to go around the edge of it. So oh. Hmm. Okay. All right. All right. Ooh, that's a big chunk. Some modification required. Still making sure the dots are down. You'd hate to get this in finally and then have it be wrong. Ask me how I know. Alright, we're gonna have to start swearing. Taking just a little bit off, taking just a little bit and too much. That's what I'm ready for. Oh, oh, get the... Oh, overshot it. Off-screen repair. Hold on. Nice, nailed it. What was so hard about that? And there's a little protective cover on it, if you feel so inclined to mess with that. Oh, what were we supposed to do next? You know, I'm almost thinking maybe I won't put the case back on it and just glue that right to the... Probably shouldn't. Why? I don't know. I don't know why I shouldn't. I just have a feeling. A hunch. Yellow to the right. One's a 6-pin, one's a 5-pin. If you mess that up, you're on your own. I say it like I haven't messed that up. Put this in real quick. Nut. Washer and nut. Nope, that's not where that goes. That's not how any of this goes. Oh, yeah. All right, so then I'm going to turn it counterclockwise until it clicks off, and I'm going to put the knob like kind of at the, what is that, 730-ish? I don't know. That way it never points straight down, but you get good rotation. You know, I'm going to leave it out of the case. Executive decision. Cooling, that's how we're going to sell it. Couple strips of knockoff VHB. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know how much I fucking can't stand trying to get the stupid film off this stuff. So you could probably just save yourself 20 minutes and fast forward to whenever I figure it out. 'Cause oh, oh. Damn it. Come on. Get the... Oh, yeah. Halfway there. Oh. Damn, I lost it. Like they should put like a slit down the middle of it so you could just kind of like fold. I don't know. There's got to be a better way. Yeah. We're just gonna go ahead, make sure the wires aren't caught or pinched or anything like that. And we're gonna favor the left rear side so that our power hookups line up. Go ahead and give her a good press, make sure it's in there. Nice. Look at all that, look at all that weight we saved. Clean up this mess real quick. Stand by. All right. Next, power. So, god dang it. The bottom of the board had it printed on it, but your instructions are on the sticker on the back. Oh, come on, come on, come on, God damn it. Well, we started strong. So it's motor negative, motor positive, power negative, power positive. And it's not going to look pretty, but I'm just going to write that down on here because a good chance I'll forget. Maybe we could add little printed in labels for that. Ooh. Yours might be different. I don't know. Read your sticker. Power hookup on the right side with negative on the left, power on the right of the right side. Nice and snug, nothing crazy. All right, and then motor, same thing. Motor negative on one side. Get in there. Boom. All right. So everything there looks good, and I think we're gonna just put this on and say goodbye to it forever because it's not coming back off. Oh yeah. Oh boy. Ooh. You gotta feel good about that. You gotta feel good about it. Let's plug it in. Let's see what happens. Oh wait. Before we get all giddy, I might have. One of these screws might be a little stripped. I might have. Not stripped. I might have not done a very good job with the old tap and die. It grabs, but it's only like a quarter of a turn. Hmm. 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 I wonder if on my original one I ended up switching to M4 hardware, and that's why I made those holes bigger. It's probably what I did. Busted. That's okay. Doesn't matter right now. Alright, let's plug this guy in. Oh, yeah, tell me I don't have a spot where it's gonna fit you. Come on. Boo. Okay, alright. Plan. Do I have a plan B? I don't have a plan B. There's no plan B. Shit. Plan C. Plan C worked. All right, we're back in business. Plan C was just unplug everything. Moment of truth. So we'll switch to the middle position. It lit up. We're at 0, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're going to go back, go forward. There we go. It's moving. It's going the wrong way. Look at that. Would you look at it? So we'll leave that at 50. The moment we've been waiting for. And these are 142 grain, I think. Let's see. Yeah, 124 grain. What's going to happen? All right. The first one's in there in the right position. And it flipped it over and made it the not right position. Okay, so hold on. I'm going to see about, I'm going to just a little bit there for you. Just a smidge. So... Oh, God. Oh, everywhere other than where this should be. Let's see if we can't get that just a dump right there. We're going to loosen this up just a smidge because it obviously needs to be... So it's still... It's working there. We need to see if one that's already right side up gets flipped. It does. So right now it's just turning everything. You get turned and you get turned. What? All right, let's see. So you got to get that base plate high enough that drop a Allen wrench and hit yourself in the face with it, then you're good. So you can, you probably can't see. You can see, so there's the hole in the collator, and then there's that little edge of that guide down there. And essentially, let me see how I can explain this with my hands. When the bullet is already right side up, you want it to catch on the edge of that guide and keep that other nose from coming up under it and picking it up. But when the bullet's upside down, that nose drops past the guide and then gets pushed off to the side. That's probably as good as I'm going to be able to do explaining it. Sorry in advance. Let's see if it works. Here's two that are needing to be flipped. They get flipped, and the one that's already right does not get flipped. Try these next two. So it needs to be flipped, doesn't need to be flipped, needs to be flipped. Perfect. Look at that. Wonderful. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So, I think we're pretty much set over here. Now we just need to get it taken over to the actual press and put up over there. I think that's all that's left. All right, let's jump over there. All right, so unfortunately, this room just isn't big enough for me to get far enough away. But that looks good. It's, shoot. As soon as I hung it up, I was like, you're forgetting something. You need to put the that little extension tube on there that we need. And that probably... Some M36s are going to work pretty good for that. You know, we forgot something. I forgot something. I guess you didn't forget anything. Shoot. We we didn't incorporate our cutoff switch into the motor wiring. Whoops daisy. Yeah. And actually, let's jump back over here. So we also, I guess we're getting ahead of ourselves. We didn't talk about the bullet feeding die. So you're going to have 4 holes on the bottom, and they're all at different heights. You need to put a ball bearing in the very lowest hole. If you still have feeding issues, he says that you can add ball bearings to the other holes to try and resolve things, but I've had great success with just the one. You want to make sure that these are fitting with nearly no resistance. Once we add that ball bearing on the lowest one, we're going to get a little bit of resistance, and that's a little bit's okay. It needs to be enough that the spring can overcome it. But that still feels pretty good. You might need to, if you have too much resistance once the ball bearing's in, you can just reach inside, pop that ball bearing back out, and just very gently bevel the edge so the ball bearing sits further. Don't take a file or a drill bit and go all the way through, because then the ball bearing's just going to fall through. You just want to just kind of bevel the outer edge so that the ball bearing can sit lower but doesn't go through. And then we got 2 little springs that are 9.7 millimeters long collapsed, and overall length from mounting ear to mounting ear, I'm going to say roughly right at about 19.8, 20, whatever you want to call it. But just go ahead and pop both those springs onto each side. Pretty straight. Nope, and that one just fell right back off. Make sure they're pressed all the way in. There we go. Try and push that spring all the way back in there. There we go. Perfect. So now we can try putting a couple bullets in it. Bullets. And when you push up, you should get 1 bullet. Push up, 1 bullet. Push up, 1 bullet. So we'll actually leave those out. That fits pretty good. And then we'll just thread this whole thing into station number 4. You can do station 3 or station, whatever station you want. No, I don't care. And we're going to go down quite a bit. We'll have to put some cases in there. To figure out the exact setting. Or the exact height, I should say. Once it starts sticking out a little bit out of the bottom, it'll probably be good. So when it comes up, it actually looks pretty good. Oops. I took that out. So I'll put 3 more back in the top here. If you test it with just one, you're not actually testing it. So make sure you got a couple in there all the way up. Well, it just fed one, but we weren't lined up right, but that might have also been. Go another half turn down, all the way up. Go a full turn. Oh, look at that. And this case also isn't flared out with that the funnel tube, so it's not going to sit in there probably as good as it should, but I'm pretty darn happy with that. Woo. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right. So we've got that sorted out now. Go ahead and get the bullets out of there just so that they're not rearing their ugly head later. We'll jump back over here where we now have to deal with our cutoff switch that we so eloquently forgot about. Man, how do we want to do that? To the wire bin. So, I think what I'm going to do is, I've got a bunch of this, I was using this for some RGBs, and I've got a bunch of it, but I've got this pre-cut section that I'm actually not using for that anymore, so this would be a good use of it. I've got some of that bulk spooled wire, but that stuff's so expensive, I just hate using it if you don't have to, and I'm just going to cut that one off. And I'm going to do just green and red. Goodbye, white. So I guess we actually jumped the gun just a bit too much. Too much. We're still over here for a minute. And now I gotta get this damn lid off. Ruh-roh spaghettios. It's okay. We're just gonna gently like, it's a damn good fit, but maybe it's just a, oh. Come on, get out of there. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Easy day, easy day. We want, what do we want? What do we want and when do we want it? Just trying to think like what's the easiest, nicest, cleanest way to do this. I'll think about it while stripping these. It's pretty small gauge wire. That's also pretty small gauge wire. I'm panicking. All right. So, sorry. Oh, almost punched the catch. Take that. And that. So I'm going to put it on the power side. Let's see. Man, I'm having a whirlwind of uncertainty right now. Let's see. What would be a better fit? Stand by. Hold on. Nope, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. Okay, all right. Well, we're gonna do the motor side. Final answer, no take backsies. We're gonna see. I'm just trying to cut some of this insulation off this connector because I want to salvage as much of this wire as possible. Not because, I mean, there's more than enough length there. I just don't want it to get uneven here at the end and then have to deal with. Make sure you've got your safety squints on. Bust out the soldering iron again real quick. And so we want to use, you've got 3 pins here, common, normally open, and normally closed. Which one is which? They do not tell you. They're just labeled 1, 2, and 3. All right, so we're going to use the top and bottom pins. And real quick, I'm just going to step over here, take a quick guesstimate of measuring. That's good. Just wanted to make sure that this was going to be long enough. And I'm just going to barely strip off any If you're not some soldering pro, this is like the best $5 that you can spend at Harbor Freight. Get one of these little helping hand. Wait. Man, we are just jumping the gun left and right today, aren't we? Cut a little piece in half. And it fell off. Ah. Come on, we were doing good there for a second. Don't ruin this. Ah. All right, so got both of those wired up. I'm gonna run over here real quick and use the heat gun. Perfect. And just solder those two pieces together real quick. it over it. Come on. It's so close. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. There we go. And we go back. And I shouldn't have put that away. Not going to put it away this time. All right. So now we need to hook power back up. And we're going to put that little heat shrink connection in there just to keep it clean. Make sure that nice. Okay, we're making a mess. Use a couple of these zip ties right here. Actually, I've got some of this wire loom stuff, but we'll do that later. All right. Lid back on. Make sure your wires aren't in the way of it. All right, so now we've got switch. And that's just going to go 2 holes there. Make sure that sits in there nice and comfortably. Other side. Oh, wait, that's right. You do need to put the spring in there first. And you're just going to use all the hands you have. To hold everything at the same time and make sure that that piece of the switch is inside. Like that. Make sure your zip ties the right way. Make sure you get the longest zip ties possible. Nice. Oh. So that should work. And actually, I guess I'm gonna take this piece back off for a second. Just so that I can spin this on. And I'm just making sure that I push the coils on so that each coil bites onto the piece. It's pretty good. That works pleasantly, surprisingly well. Hopefully it's long enough. We're going to find out in just a second. Perfect. All right, so now we just need to somehow take all of this over to here. Without dropping anything. Okay. Oh, looking good. A little bit of tension on it. A little bit more tension than I probably would super like. But it's not bad. How do I... I'm going to put that on the inside there. Power. Done with that. Plug in our power. Oh, quick disconnects. All right, and we're on. Ah, it's working. It's moving. Let's see what happens. Ah, look at that. It happens so fast, though, it's hard to see. You can't see anything. I'm not going to move it because otherwise I'll never get back to where it is. You can see in the back of this the switch and the bullet. So that one was the right way. That one was the right. Oh, look at that. It keeps topping it off. Man, we're looking pretty good. Again, the case isn't flared, so it's not going to sit as good as it would if we ran it through the whole thing, but it's still sitting on there pretty good. Except for that one. My cases. I don't have a little keeper in there. Oh, yeah. All right. Hard not to be excited about that. So just a little bit of housekeeping here. I'm not going to get too crazy, but I do think I'm going to put just a little bit of wire loom on this, if there's enough room to get both of these in there. Nothing worse than just a crap load of wiring covering something. Or not covering something, just being in the way. Come on, get in there. And then you can put a zip tie on this cable loom just loose at the top, but it'll keep it from working its way back out. We're doing good. Now we're like binding up on something. Almost there. Yeah, I think that's probably good. We'll go a little bit lower over here. Leave ourselves enough room that if we need to work on something, we can. Another loose zip tie on that side. And I think this will just live right inside like that. Oh, perfect. 2 big zip ties left. Oh, that would have been one for the books. Perfect number left. Here, let me waste one right off the bat. Just kind of hide that right there for now. Get that out of there. Look at that. Would you just look at it? Man, that is perfect. All right. Well, I'm pretty happy with it. I think we're done here. All right. Well, actually, that went pretty well. It wasn't without some hurdles and a couple audibles that we did mid build, but I think for anyone that's looking to put one together for themselves, they've got a good roadmap to follow. I'll finish making the changes we talked about and get those pushed out. And yeah, of course, thank you to. Let's actually, you know what? Hold on. It wouldn't be possible without whoever this guy is. So. Ah, DPGunWorks. So he's the one. Let's see, switch to. This is the bullet feeder die that we used. And it was pretty much click and print. Didn't change a single thing about it. That fit really well. You know, we. Uh, this piece was modeled around that. So if you use those two parts in conjunction, you will get the same fit we did. And it was actually kind of nice. Well, gosh darn. Lining this up like that. So you're looking at it like this when you're standing at the press using it. You can see the switch inside and you can see the bullets coming down. So if there's either a jam, an upside down bullet, something like that, obviously you're going to find an upside down bullet as soon as it goes into the case. You should, hopefully you're not trying to fly through them that quick. But yeah, it worked really well. So cool. Thanks.